Hey everyone, welcome to the Curious Girl Diaries podcast. I'm Layla London, aka The Curious Girl. Now, just to let you know, this podcast is not suitable for work. It's also not suitable for anybody under 18. But the rest of you consenting adults, let's get ready to talk about my sex life, sex in general, and everything in between in explicit, raunchy, fun detail. All right, here we go. All right. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, or wherever you are. Which actually, that just made me think of something. You know what's interesting? Just going to jump right into it. I have people that listen to this freaking podcast and that read my blog from all over the world. It is such a trip. That's kind of blowing me away. Let me pull that information up before I really get going. Yeah, it's fascinating to me. I can't believe it. I mean, it's probably about like 60, I don't know, maybe 60-40 here about from, within the United States and outside of the United States. Oops, that's the wrong thing I'm clicking on here. So, yeah, I have United States, United Kingdom, Netherlands, a place that's not set. There was Japan, Australia, Canada, Bangladesh, and Belgium. Is that interesting? I'm totally blown away by that. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Love everybody. And this actually is for the people that listen. This is another Q&A session. I wanted to just go through and answer the questions. It's so much easier than trying to type it out. When I sit and try to type it out, often that sparks a conversation, and then there's a lot of back and forth. So you've got this big, long email chain. And, at this point, when I can't even get my own, stay up on the blogging, I need to definitely try to expedite and do what's fastest because I want to get back to people. And, I do like the questions that they send in. I get some good stuff. So this is kind of my solution to it. And I like just answering it in the moment. I like just doing it off the cuff. I don't sit and, you'll hear me start clicking through and just opening some of these up. And, I like kind of doing it that way where it's like, surprise, here's the question, go ahead and answer it. So that way it can be good. I guess it can be a blessing and a curse. It's not super concise because sometimes I ramble, but it is completely honest and off the cuff. So there you go. You kind of trade one for the other there. All right. So getting down to it then, let me open up. Here we go. How is the BDSM stuff going for you, and are you liking it? Well, yes, it is going very well, and I am liking it. I got past my little submission freak out. Boy, I mean, that kind of threw me for a curve. And, and I did kind of have, like, as I said, an awkward, there was an awkward talk there about it, where I was kind of getting, called out a little bit on it. And so I got past that, and I don't really know how. I mean, I think just kind of talking it through like I did, and then kind of just relaxing a little bit, just saying, fuck it, just get out of your goddamn head and go for it. And so, but since then, yes. I've been having a lot of fun, been tied up a couple different, well, how many times now? Several different times. And, it's definitely getting more intense for me. I don't know, I don't really know what's on the other side of that for the other person, but it's definitely getting more intense for me, the actual experience of it. It's a lot of stimulation, And it's not like anything. It's first, let me say, it's just definitely not like anything I've ever experienced. It Because it's all these things combined at once put on you. So it's almost like it's a little bit like sensory overload. It's a lot of mental and sensual and then stimulation of a lot of different things at once. And I almost feel like, God, I think like the best way to explain it is it sort of taps into primal things, primal lizard brain things. And so you're very in the moment, but it's on a very, I don't want to say it's not. I don't want to say basic level. That's not the right word I'm looking for. It's on a very primal. It's just not like, okay, you're not sitting there thinking like, oh shit, how's my ass looking? How's my stomach looking? You're not like thinking about some shit that can kind of get in your mind when you're having sex because, you have so much going on. You're tied up, you know, you're not able to participate like you normally would in the sex act. All this stuff is being done to you, and you kind of have to sit back and take it, and that's weird. And then and you're being touched and bitten and spanked, or yanked into one direction. Your hair's being pulled. You've got your clit's being stimulated beyond belief. You have a cock in your ass and fingers in your vagina. And, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. So I find that I like it a lot. I mean, I like it. I'm liking it a lot. Again, I still feel like I'm just kind of scratching the surface and starting to understand more about it as far as what it's bringing up in me, because it's not just, it's not just like going and having sex. It's not just like a standard run of the mill, sexual encounter. It's a lot more than that. It's a lot more than that. So, um, yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to, I still try to process all of it, but I can tell you this, I like it and I'm going to keep doing it. And where it takes me, or where I end up with it, I don't know. I don't, I'm on that road trip there. But do I think it's going to, like take over my life and like, oh my God, I have to be submissive and I can't, not get off unless I am. No, 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 no. I mean, I still want to, one of my fantasies that or on my bucket list is, to dominate, to reverse those roles, to switch and to be the dominant one and make somebody submit to me. And what's interesting is, what I'm doing now will certainly make me understand that better, depending on who I'm with. So, I still have that. I mean, I still have that dominant side for sure. That's never probably going to go away. But, the actual, the actual BDSM stuff is very fun. Like it, like it, like it a lot. Immensely enjoy it. So, okay, there we go with that. Let's see what's up next here. Okay. Did you get new sex toys and how are those working out? I did, but I think I mentioned that, but I thought I maybe mentioned that a little bit of that before. Anyway, yes, I did. Got new sex toys. I got like a new sort of little bullet. It's a bullet, but it's just batteries. There's no cord, which is nice. It fits nicely in my purse. I can take it with me. Has good power to it. I like that a lot. I also got this thing called the Womanizer, and it sucks your clit. It's like got this little. It almost looks like, you know what it almost looks like, an ear thermometer, and so it has that little piece like on the end there, but it's this, like a size that fits around your clit, and they actually have different sizes depending, I guess, if you have a big clit or a small clit, whatever. Um, and you use that, and it sucks, and yeah, that thing, woohoo, that thing is damn good. I mean, really, really, really good. It makes the bottoms of my feet burn in the arches. And I had forgotten about that feeling. I haven't had that feeling in a long time. I don't know why. Just again, nobody's overstimulated me. It's when I get overstimulated, and when you're, probably like when you're super, super sensitive, probably like the head of a penis. I mean, if you're looking at the wrong way, it's just like if it's too much, you have to like tell someone to stop. Or, usually right after you come, it's like, okay, stop overstim. That's too intense right there. But this is before I come, and I'm getting overstimulated, and it makes, when I get overstimulated, I feel that all the way down on the arches of my feet. They burn. They're like burning. They're heating up. It's an interesting little thing. And so I'm using this thing, and it's like all of a sudden my freaking feet are burning. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about that. Well, so instead of stopping, I'm like, I'm going to push past this because I think there's a damn good orgasm waiting on the other side of that. And sure as shit, oh my God, woo! Yes, there have been several good orgasms waiting on the other side of that. But it's almost kind of hard because you're like, oh, 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 oh. I mean, it's totally intense. And you have to kind of just like ride that wave, that real big, oh, intense wave. Whereas normally, if that was a guy, you would be pushing him away, grabbing his head, moving his hand, whatever, like, kind of slowing, getting him to stop. Like, you would say, I need a break from that, or you got to try a different angle, or whatever. That's too intense. But I'm self-inflicting it on myself. And so therefore I'm like, okay, just go for it. And, anyway, yes, that was very good. The next thing is, I got one of those Hitachi massagers used on me. I mean, shit, how long those have those been around since the 70s? I don't know how long those have been out. But again, as per usual, I'm late to the party. This is not a new technology thing, but those things are strong. Those are so strong. And the first time somebody used it on me, I was like, holy shit. No way. Oh yeah, I came a couple times with that. No, those things are no joke. And of course, I was instantly, gone on Amazon the next day. I'm like, please, Amazon Prime, ship that to me right away. So, yeah, I got one of those, and I do like that a lot. I enjoyed that a lot. I mean, it's a little old school, but hey, whatever. I mean, it's definitely gets the job done. And if you want to kind of just put it on there, like, and I've been kind of playing around with it. The thing with it is that it's so strong. You have to hold it right because it's already giving so much vibration. And so you have to, what I found is like, you kind of have to hold it back a little bit, just set it lightly on there. And then once you're getting close, I just fucking jam that sucker on my pubic bone, and boom, there it goes. So I do enjoy that. Yes, I enjoy the Hitachi. So things are, yeah, I'm having fun. I definitely want to get some more sex toys though. I'd like to get something really good for my G-spot. If it vibrated like that Hitachi, I'd probably lose my mind. But actually, BE said that he has a smaller one that has a little handheld. It's a battery one, and it's smaller, and it has little attachments, and I guess one of them is you can, hit your G spot with it. I'm like, all right, bring it on. Let's do it. So I'll see how that goes. That's exciting. Let's see. What's the next one here? Okay. Oh, here's an interesting question. Boy, people just love to get right up in there. Okay. Do you worry about STDs, and are you on birth control? Well, of course I worry about STDs. Shit, who doesn't? Look, if you're having sex with multiple people, as safe as you're being, you still worry. I mean, I do. Maybe I'm a worrywart. I don't know. Maybe that's not normal. I don't know. The thing of it is that the only way to be 100% sure you're not going to get an STD is to not have sex. Well, okay, that option's off the list, okay? You can just have sex with one person. And if they're being monogamous with you and you're being monogamous with them and everyone's telling each other the truth, then you've reduced those chances greatly, obviously, if everybody's clean. But none of that's not an option for me right now either. So, yes, while I'm doing this, absolutely it's on my mind. And I do practice safe sex, and I go and see my doctor every 2 months, and I get retested. And, I've never had an STD, and, I hope I never get one. I'm not expecting to get one by any stretch, but, there is, if you are having sex with multiple partners, or if you're having sex at all, you are running the risk. So how are you going to manage it, and how much of a risk is it? And based on that, you got to make your decisions on what's right for yourself. But yeah, fucking A. Of course, it occurs to me, and I'm seriously. There's sometimes if I really, really sit and think about it, and I've had conversations with friends about it. Like, I just want to frickin' make it through the year. Like that's part of one of the things that's going to motivate me. To maybe just, that's a vote for the monogamy camp. There, it's like, less of a concern about getting an STD and thinking about it, and having it be on your mind and having to go get checked every 2 months and, and all that stuff. Thank goodness my doctor, I mean, I don't go to a clinic, guys. I know a lot of people that I talk to, they go to a clinic. I'm a grown-ass woman. I go to my OBGYN. We talk about this stuff. She knows what I'm doing. And she's very informative, and we discuss, all of the risks, so I feel informed. But, again, yes, I'm going to continue, to do what I'm doing right now. And then, I'll think about what when this is all done, I'll think about what the next phase is. Am I on birth control? Yes, I am on birth control. I decided that would be also wise when I started this. I was not on before I started this. And at the very beginning of that, I was not on birth control either, because, condoms are obviously a pregnancy preventer. I had a previous relationship several years back where I had a boyfriend for 5 years, and I didn't want to be on birth control because I was so sick of that shit fucking up my system. And so we just used condoms the whole time, and we used them every time, and I didn't mind, and I didn't get pregnant. So, they're definitely a great, barrier method. But that being said, that was with one person. If I got pregnant, I would know who it was. The last thing I would want is to have an uncomfortable situation, where I'm like, some Jerry Springer episode. Well, who's the daddy? That's not happening. So So yeah, I did get on birth control. I do want to say one thing about this because I know that for the women out there, and I don't know if the guys are fully up to speed on this. The birth control, it can be problematic. It really, it's a hormone. I mean, it's a hormone. You're injecting, well, I inject what I get as a shot. But you're putting, chemicals in your body, and it there are side effects. I mean, you get a side effect, from doing that. So for me, this time around, what the side effects have been is, and I noticed the difference right away, because I started without it and then started taking it about 3 months or so into this, that it's a little harder for me to have an orgasm. It's a little harder for me to get there. And it wasn't harder before. So, that sucks. I can still, I'm still having orgasms, but it's more work. It's more work for me. It's more work for the other guy. Would I prefer not to be on it? Oh, hell yeah, of course. But that's, again, while I'm doing what I'm doing, you have to make trades. There's just trade-offs that have to be made. So that's one of them. But so to answer that question to the person who wrote that in, yes. I can't, or I am on birth control, and I worry about STDs, but I think any normal person would. Okay. Let's see here. Next question. You know what? And I swear to God, I'm going to turn this phone off. There we go. We're turning the ringer off every dang time. It's like a guarantee. If I try to do a podcast, I'm going to have, my phone's going to start going off. Okay. Next one. Are you still lightening your vagina? I've been thinking about, this is from a girl. Are you still lightening your vagina? I've been thinking about doing this myself. I just started about a week ago. I know, because I said I got this stuff a long time ago, right? And then I just was lazy. Anything I have to put on daily or twice a day, I'm really horrible about it over the long haul. So, but yes, I finally said, you know what, just start doing it. It's been about a week. I haven't done it twice a day every day, but I have been putting it on. And I think it's working a little bit. I mean, it could be, could be in my head. I think it does look a tad bit lighter, but it's not dark. I don't have dark parts. So, but still, I want to see, this is so crazy. I just want to see if I can get them pink like the porno chicks. We'll see what happens. I'm going for it. So, and I'll be the guinea pig. And to the lovely gal that sent this in, if you want to wait, I promise that I'll update you privately at a later date. As maybe in 2 weeks or something. Then I'll probably know more at that point. But when I do know more, I'm happy to report back. But so far, it doesn't. It's just very. You don't even notice it's on there. I mean, it just blends right in, and I think it's working. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. What's the next one here? Oh, the sound quality was shitty on the podcast you did with Cowboy Ed. Yes, Captain Obvious. It was. I know. I'm sorry. I said that. I said on a different podcast, I said, I apologized. It was shit. That, what happened was, I'm not used to using this microphone with anybody else. And so I have it set just to pick up the sound coming directly from where I'm sitting, not all the way around the microphone on the other side of the microphone where he was sitting. And anyway, so I played around with the settings and changed it. And as it turns out, I should have tested. I did do one test that didn't work. Anyway, I'll have to sort of play around with it before I do another podcast where someone else is there with me. And by the way, BE said he would do one, so I'm very excited that he's such a trooper. I'm very excited that to get him on there, so you can kind of get a feel for what kind of guy he is. But hopefully at that point I'll have played around with it and I'll know what the correct setting is. Actually, I should it's a good microphone. I'm sure I could just get online and figure it out. I don't think I have the brochure anymore. Maybe I do. Yeah. Well, probably just best to just open up the brochure. Hey, there's a novel idea. Anyway, I know it was shitty. I'm sorry. And after we had done that, that was a long podcast. It was like an hour and 15 minutes. And, I didn't want to say, hey, could you do it over? I mean, that was nice of Cowboy N to agree to it. And, I just went with it. So it could be that we get another shitty one until I figure it out. But people, work with me, all right? Okay. What's the next one? Okay, here we go. Oh boy. You were wrong on your Man, everybody's like jumping on me. Okay. You were wrong on your podcast with Cowboy N, and he was right about the height for women. I realized this. Yes. Here we go. Everybody ready? Drum roll. I was wrong, and he was right. Do I say it again? I was wrong, and he was right. I think I already told him that. I'll tell you, the thing about me is, I'm definitely, opinionated, and sometimes I just open my yap before I think, in certain scenarios. And this was definitely one of them. But I'm always quick to say I was wrong. And I'm always good about saying I'm sorry. I don't have a problem saying I'm wrong. And I never have a problem apologizing when I need to. So I don't know if I need to apologize about being wrong, but I did point out to him that, yes, in fact, I was wrong. I admit it. You were right. You did say 5'3" to 5'5", and therefore, I said that he didn't say 5'5". He did. So, okay. Whew. I feel like I'm in the hot seat here. Okay. Oh shit, I'm still in the hot seat. This next one. What is with you people? Are you like the Cowboy N secret fan club? Oh, you're supposed to love me more. Me. Okay. You were... this is a woman. I think she's a little jealous. Okay. You were really rude to Cowboy N during your interview. I'm surprised he fucks you. Well, let me think about this before I respond. I thank you for your observant question or observant statement there. I went back. Of course, I went back and listened to that. When you are interviewing somebody, you are focused on. I was focused on asking the questions, digging in for the answers, and moving the conversation along and trying to keep it focused and on track. So I really did miss a lot of what he said. And so it was actually, I thought it was a very good, really interesting things that he had to say. And I appreciated being able to go back and listen to it. And I do somewhat agree with that statement. when I went back and listened to it, I was like, God, boy, I sounded kind of bitchy. Like I was like kind of on him a bit. And um, I mean, just I don't know if bitchy is the right word. Maybe it is. And, I listened to it and I thought, oh gosh, it just it just struck me, that um, the way that I was interacting with him. Now, not surprising though, the extension of that is that's the night that we had our little talk about being submissive. And I think what was going on there, and when I look back at that and when I kind of hear or, heard, in hindsight, was just a little bit, it was the power struggle kind of manifesting itself a little bit. So I was a little passive aggressive, I think, on that, and so I do tend to agree, with that statement, that, I don't know I don't know that I agree with the word rude, but, I was giving him some shit, kind of pushing his buttons a little bit and, or trying to, whether or not that it worked or not, I don't know. But, I agree a little bit with that. There's some truth in there. And so just so you know, like my personal philosophy on stuff like this is when somebody says something to you, like if you think it's way out in left field, I always kind of ask myself, like, where's the truth in that statement? You know, what's the truth in that statement? And I think if you look, even when you feel like you're being criticized, you can always find that. It may not be immediate, um, like like when later on when we had a little conversation, I was like, I just can't wait to get in the fucking car and get the fuck out of here so I can think. Um, but that's me. Like I like to think something through, and if I don't have an immediate response, or somebody saying something, I'm like, boy, I think there's some truth to this. I really do want to, you know, get their feedback and then think about it, and really kind of mull it over. So, so I'll say that, I was definitely, there was a dynamic there that this person who sent this email, was picking up on, and that's astute of them. I'll say that. Um, uh, about the fact that you're surprised that he fucks me. I don't know what to say about that. I'm not, because I'm fun and I like to fuck and he likes to fuck, and that works out well for both of us. So aside from that, I can't say much more, but I do like fucking him and I'm going to continue to do so. There we go. Okay. Next one. Okay. Oh, if you're having a hard time being submissive, maybe it's not really for you. All these statements. I'm answering statements. It just should be like, it's not really Q&A, but I do have something to say about that. Um, yeah, it's not I mean, I think that it's not my nature. It's not my lane, so to speak, but it's something that I enjoy immensely. I like that, you know, that power exchange. And that's the thing. That's the thing right there, guys, is it's a power exchange. It's not a power grab. So, there's a process to that. If it's just a grab, someone could just come in and just take it. That's something different. But the power exchange itself that you're actually, experiencing, it's kind of like a dance. And, you know, I'm learning how to dance without stepping on toes, and I'm trying to find my way through it. After we had that talk, and I thought about it, I really kind of lightened up about it. Got out of my head. I was getting a little too heady. Um, just overthinking it. And, and I just went with it. And since then, we've had some really fun get-togethers, and it's progressing. It's moving to a different level, and I like that. And I'm not having the anxiety about it that I was. I'm not having, the issues with it that I was. Now, is there still that, what do you call it? I don't know, that rub, between Cowboy and I? Yes. Those are our personalities. He's a dominant personality and I'm a dominant personality. When I met him, I knew instantly, I'm like, I know who this guy is. I know, and I know the friction that I'm going to have with him. But I find that friction very hot, arousing, and sexy. So it's kind of part of the banter and the play, just when we're out and about or whatever, the little teasing and stuff. For me, I enjoy all that. And I knew when I met him, his type of personality, that's how my type of personality and his type of personality interact. And to me, I find that sexy. So, would I consider myself to be a true, submissive, like right out of the gate, like that's my nature? No, absolutely not. Am I finding my way there and having a lot of fun while I'm doing it? Fuck yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I really think that, I almost think the more dominant you are, the more you want to do that. It's like, fuck, I don't want to, I don't want to be thinking all the time. When when I'm in this type of encounter, I'm not the one doing the thinking. I'm not calling the shots. And I mean, I have to agree to it, but that's the trade, that is the trade. And I like that. That's a good, that's a night. It's so far, it's been working out well. So it's fine with me. I mean, we're moving forward, and I'm not anxious anymore about it. And I'm curious again, just to kind of see where that all goes in the long run, how that ends up. Yeah, I mean, how much farther, how much farther down the rabbit hole can I keep going? I don't know, but I'm just gonna keep going. I'm going for it. Maybe at some point I'll be like, okay, I've hit my limit. I don't want it. There's nothing, everything else past this pushes too much of a boundary. But, I don't know. That's the cool part, is that that's the fun part. I don't know where my boundaries are. When you are having regular sex, and there's nothing wrong with regular sex. I still have regular sex and love regular sex. But when you're doing it, you already know there's no, you're not pushing any boundaries. You're already, yeah, I mean, it's not, it's not about that. So this is just something that, it's very exciting, and I enjoy it. I like doing it a lot. Let's see, what's the next one here? The question is, what are your recommendations to meet a woman like yourself? Is it online dating service, going out to bars, nightclubs, social events? Any pointers would be appreciated. So, by the way, the emails like this, like as an example, this one, the emails I get are longer than that. I just kind of like ferret out the question. A lot of it's, other stuff, but, I enjoy your podcast, blah, 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 whatever, and that's all, that's good. But I'm just for the sake of what we're doing here, I'm condensing this and, just searching out the actual question in the email. Now, I did actually respond to this guy, and we did have an ongoing dialogue for a while there about it. But I think that I wanted to put that out there for everyone else too, because, how to meet a woman like myself. Oh my God. I hope there's not another one like me roaming around out there. That's number one. But, is an online dating, a dating service. I'm online, and I said, you've got to go to a hookup site, and you're gonna get all kinds on there. People that are definitely not your speed. Goofballs, weirdos, head cases, whatever. You do have to sift and sort, and weed through some of that. That being said, I have met some phenomenal, amazing guys. More phenomenal, amazing guys in a compressed amount of time than I can really believe. I mean, it's so to that end, and even the guys that you don't always click with sexually, these are like I like them. You know what I mean? Like interesting people. Like I would outside of meeting like this, under with this type of a goal or purpose in mind, I would absolutely hang out with these guys, be friends with them. So, you know, and then there's people that I just hope I never cross paths with again. But that's normal. So the online dating, I think, on a hookup based site that don't go to eHarmony, don't go to Match.com. You know, those are people are predominantly looking for a one-on-one relationship. And this guy in his question, he was saying, that he just wants to, have fun, have a great connection, not be in a serious relationship, but find somebody that he can enjoy. And I was like, well, and of course he wants to have sex. So boom, that's what you do. I would not go to night bars and nightclubs. I mean, I think if you just want to one-off, you can. If you just want to pick somebody up, take them home and have sex, that might be the way to go. But the problem is that if you don't like that person, you could be dealing with a lot of headaches and, cuckoo birds and all that stuff. So social events, I would say, would be more for relationships. And, I mean, you could find people that are wanting just to, have sexual-based relationships. But again, why guess? Go to where they are, and those are the online hookup sites. That's my recommendation. If any, I don't know. I'm not probably the aficionado on this stuff. I mean, I just kind of jumped out there, got in my one lane, and I've been working that one ever since. And I will say this though, I have also met a lot of people. I think it's easier for girls though. I could pick up anybody, and if coffee shops and things like that are great. You can kind of, I don't know, it's weird. It's hard to explain. So once your light comes on, like, I don't know if it's your sex light or I don't even know what it is. Like you're putting out a vibe. Like somebody called it sex positive. I think that's a good way of putting it. But you're sex positive and people pick up on this shit. But men especially. This I know for a fact. This I know when I was younger and I used to flirt and all that. If you put that, you just got that you turn your light on and boy, they will pick up on it. So that's not going to help this guy because he's a guy. But women, if you don't want to do online, you don't have to. I mean, you really don't. And women do have the advantage, I think when it comes to this stuff. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to disagree that, if a woman wants to go out and get laid, she has a better chance of making that happen, just on a random night, versus a guy. So, anyhow, but being flirtatious and, wherever you go is also, a good way to do this. And I personally find that works well. I do use that method and I have met some of the guys that way. So, all those things considered, but for a guy, I would say just go online, hookup sites, and then you got to be persistent and work through. Just know, like when I said a while back, I'm like, people, this is a job. You got to work this like a job, like a system. You got to run like a business. And and things will happen. Okay. Sorry for that. I know I kind of got off. I was really like stuck on that one. Okay. Here's another one. Why? Oh, here's it's a statement and a question. Okay. Says, BE sounds perfect. Why don't you just see him? Well, BE is pretty damn near perfect. You're right about that. I am not, right now, I am out there, and I want to experience different things. As I said before, I know that this is not sustainable. And really at my core, it's really not me, so it can be me for this window in time. And when I say it's not me, I don't mind seeing, I don't mind seeing more than one person. I don't mind being, in an open relationship, that kind of a thing. But the time and commitment and, everything that this takes is a lot. And if I wouldn't have made it a goal, trust me, I would not be going at this pace. There's just no way. I mean, right now I have 3 guys that I see regularly. And I like all 3 of them a lot. Right now I have in my inbox on the site that I use, the hookup site, 70 emails in there right now that I have not responded to. And truthfully, right now, I'm just kind of content. It's making me, I don't want to say lazy, but, I'm kind of like, shit, do I need to keep pushing this forward and meeting new guys? I don't know. That's my question right now. I probably will, I probably will. But I'm like, I don't even want to log in because I don't want to look at those emails building up, and I don't want to be like, oh, now I got to go through them. It's either go through them or just hit the delete button and start over. So I don't know. But anyway, back, why don't I just see him? I think I kind of answered that. I'm curious to see what happens when this is over, because he is amazing. I mean, I don't even know how, I don't know that I could say enough good things about him. I really don't. And, he went to yoga with me the other day. What a trooper. He goes to frickin' yoga with me. Hot yoga for an hour and a half, sweating his ass off with me in the front row. Never done it before. I mean, just because he wanted to see me, we both work. We're busy. Sometimes our schedules don't always match up. And he's like, hey, I want to see you. Let's go to yoga. Can I go to yoga with you? I'm like, yes, of course. That's just the kind of guy, that's the kind of guy he is. Yes, we're excited because we enjoy each other sexually, but there's more to it than that. There's a lot more to it than that. And for me, and I don't want to, that's not to take away from, anybody else. There has to be more than just that. I mean, and even, even Cowboy Ann said it. I mean, it's like, you got to have some kind of something with this person outside the bedroom. Otherwise, it's just not as fun. It just isn't, And so, BE is amazing. I look forward to seeing him every time. And I still have to write another BE story. And maybe I can do that tonight. Anyway, gotta get that up. Okay. So I think that answered that. Why don't I see just him? It's timing, it's just timing right now. It's not the right time, but he's definitely the kind of person that that out, outside of this, outside of this relationship with that guy, absolutely, hands no, no question about it. He's great. So okay, um, let's see, where's the next one? Oh, I remember that. Okay, this is a good one. If the shoe were on the other foot, would you sleep with someone that was blogging about you? Very, very good question. I'm surprised nobody asked that sooner. Boy, I tell you. Um, I don't know. I gotta be honest. I don't know. That is, that's a toughie. Um, oh, woo. See, my girl brain just kicked in. I'm like, I don't know. Do I want to know about who he's sleeping with and how I compare? I mean, I would be curious. I'd be getting in there. I'd be reading shit. It might bother me. Um, I know, like, uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So generic example. I know, so, when I first met Clark, he knew I was seeing other guys. He just didn't want to know he didn't want any details. He didn't want, he wasn't going to read the blog. Um, I think he may have stumbled on it. I'm not sure about that. Got a little issue there, but I, you know, I think that, and I understand. I said the same thing too. That's I have a different dynamic. That's a different. I have a different dynamic with him, and I wouldn't. I can tell you, no, I wouldn't want to know with him either. I would not. So what I think I'm getting at is I think it depends on the person. So if I look at all the guys that are on here that I've written about, there's some that, we do talk about other relationships, and it's, and I like, and like I like to get in there and hear the details. I'm like, oh my God, tell me about this, tell me about that. Doesn't bother me. Um, but with some people it would. So I think it really just depends on, um, you know, who, who it is, and how I feel about them. And there's certain people you connect with differently. And then there's other people that, you connect well with them. But it's not something that sparks anything that would just make you feel bad, or, something that you just wouldn't want to know about. So, it really does just depend on, you know, who it is. I mean, I think this some similar, I think, kind of came up one time with Cowboy N in the very beginning. What were we talking about? I don't even know how it was just something about um, sharing. Like, would I say, like, recommend to one of my friends? I'm like, oh, hey, I got this great guy. Yeah, you should fuck him or whatever. Like, would I pass him around? I don't know. Is that what we were talking? Something like that. And it was kind of the same thing. It's like there's certain, and I think I might have said no. And he said, oh, are you the jealous type? You don't like to share. And and I said no. I mean, it's absolutely not. It doesn't have anything to do with because I'm not the jealous type. I'm fortunately I'm the worst, farthest on the other end, which has sometimes gotten me in trouble because sometimes I miss the signs of things that I should be aware of and see. I'm just oblivious to. I am not jealous about other women. I've always had a healthy self-esteem, and I feel like, and I don't. I really, I feel like, hey, a guy's lucky to be with me, and that I don't say that in a vain way. I just, I know what I bring to the table. And on the same token, I also understand that somebody liking somebody else doesn't take away from me or a reflection of me. So knowing it is one thing, but having it memorialized or wanting to hear about it or being able to read about it, that's another level. So, I don't need to rub my nose in it. It's okay that it happens and goes on. And then what level do I want to be informed? So, that's the answer to the question here is, it's really just it's going to vary person to person. And that's it. Okay. I think just do one more question. God, I'm going long. This is just me talking by myself. Hold on here. Woo, getting dry mouth. Okay. Last one. Is your pussy bald or do you have a strip? God, I feel like I got this question before. I feel like I answered this before. Maybe not. I have a strip. Just a little landing strip. Maybe I have sort of. So everything's lasered. And then I have a little landing strip. I'm not into that bald look. I'm just not into it. I think a little strip looks nice. The other thing I think too is I feel like, when I see a girl in her 20s, if like a picture of a girl and she looks like she's in her 20s, I think that actually that, quite frankly, I think it looks nice on them. When you start getting older, I don't know. I feel like it almost then looks, I don't know. It's a little too much like I'm trying to be a little girl, and I'm not a little girl. I'm a woman. I like being a woman. I'm happy about it, So, yeah, I don't like for me, the bald looks not right for me. When I see it, I think it looks nice. It looks attractive. I just don't, I don't think that I need to run around with absolutely no hair on my vagina. All right. I hope that was on that note. Thanks for listening. I hope you made it through this big long-winded rant. Thanks for all the questions and comments. Keep them coming, guys. Really good stuff. And I appreciate it. And it tells me that you're listening, and I'm actually really flattered. So thank you so much. And keep them coming. And as usual, you know where to reach me. Questions or comments, curiousgirl@thecuriousgirldiaries.com.